Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to this Friday edition of the Angela Ray Show. Yes, it is the weekend. I hope that you all have had a great week. I know I've had a wonderful time this entire week with this 5 day conversation with influencers. We started off the week with Miss Adia Rogers, and we are rounding it out with the Chief Savings Strategist herself, Simple Savings for ATL Moms. For all of you who may be new to the broadcast tonight, do me a favor whenever you get on live, whether you are watching in YouTube land or if you are watching on Facebook, do me a favor. Go ahead and slide into those comments. Let me know where you are broadcasting or watching our broadcast from tonight. For all of you who will be catching the broadcast on the replay, thank you so much for being a part of the Angela Ray Show community. You know, this has been an incredible week. I know it's been very warm around the southeast, and so I am looking forward to doing some rest, relaxation at home. I am still social distancing, only making those essential trips out to the grocery store, maybe to pick up some supplies, and occasionally swinging by the post office. But that's been about it. So I don't think I will be doing anything differently on tomorrow. That's going to be it. Maybe get a little bit more organized. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're going to be getting started in just a moment. Remember to slide into those comments. Let me know where you are watching from tonight. And also, if you are watching our broadcast tonight on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and share this broadcast with a friend, because tonight we're going to get a chance to have some great information. And I think that you don't want to just keep that information to yourself. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's broadcast. And we're going to get started with our Ray of Motivation moment. And for our Ray of Motivation moment tonight, I just want to remind you that home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. And more importantly, I think we don't need to take home for granted. You know, today the world lost a civil rights giant in Mr. C.T. Vivian. He was a minister. He worked very strongly and passionately in the civil rights movement. And a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to meet him for the first time. And in addition to that, I was working on a project in Marion, Alabama, right outside of Selma. And it was such a historic area of Alabama. Not only did I get a chance to walk on the bridge, the infamous Edmund Pettus Bridge, but also in Marion, where we were shooting right across the street from the courthouse where Mr. Vivian was stoned. And so the entire time that I was in Alabama, it seemed like everywhere I turned, there was some very important piece of real estate where some really important act during the civil rights movement took place. How does that relate to home? Well, while not everyone has a CT Vivian in their family, oftentimes we do have people who've done amazing things, and they have history that may not be in a book, but that should be shared orally. About 4 years ago, after my family reunion, I had a chance to sit down with one of my great uncles to talk about some of the history in our family. We had been talking for maybe a year or two about putting together somewhat of a documentary of our family. And while we didn't have any definitive plans in place, I just took it upon myself before we all got on the road and went our separate ways to take my little digital camera, prop it up, not even on a tripod, but just prop it up and talk to my uncle. I'm glad that I did. We only had one more family reunion after that. And last year he passed away. But I got some very valuable nuggets of oral history about my family. So I just want to remind you all that home is where the heart is. And wherever your heart is, make sure that you don't take that for granted. Make sure that you reach out to those elders and find out the history makers in your family. And that is your Ray of Motivation moment for this Friday edition of the Angela Ray Show. Well, tonight I have a very special guest. She is known in these internet and social media streets as Simple Savings for ATL moms. She is a chief saving strategist, and you can actually book a session with her to get your savings on. As a matter of fact, not only has she been working during this pandemic, but she's still helping families save sometimes hundreds, if not thousands of dollars each month. So you all give it up for my soror, Miss Davis. Lady Q, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing, Angela?
I am doing well, doing
All
well.
right.
To have you here tonight to round out this conversation. This has been a week-long conversation with influencers, and man, you really have a huge influence. I mean, you have almost 100,000 followers on Instagram, and
hmm
every day people are waiting to see what you're going to post, what deals you're going to post, and especially those giveaways that you pop in there
Yeah.
from time to time.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, how did you get started as a saving strategist?
Well, I got started. It was maybe around about 2002 when I got started with Simple Savings for ATL Moms, and just the whole savings part of strategy of it all, with wanting to learn more, teach more, educate more, especially within the community, within the sorority, my sorority as well, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. All right. And then when I was younger, actually about 12 years old, my mom, she actually introduced me to coupons. And so I think the first coupon that I had ever used was on Manwich, the Manwich sauce that comes in the can. And the coupons that
Uh-huh.
we had actually won, we took those to the store and we actually got money back. So it was my first use of the coupon was actually what we call a money maker. That's when you get money back from using that coupon on the product. So, I mean, after that, I had always been in love with saving money, learning how to save, and just the whole strategy of it all. I have a love and a passion for it. So I do that a lot with teaching, showing others, and of course, like on my Instagram, which is one of my social media platforms. I'm every day I'm showing others how to save money, where to go, how to get the most for their buck. And besides, other than saving money, then there's the influence of it all. Certain products that I love that other followers of mine or my tribe members is what I call them now may love as well. So.
Now, you mentioned being on more than just Instagram. I mean, you're on Periscope, you're on YouTube, you're on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. I first connected with you in your Facebook group before you
Mm-hmm.
dismantled that and moved everybody on over to the gram. You share such great information. Why is it important for you to share what you know? Because there's some people who believe, well, if I share, it's not going to be any left over for me. So why have you found it important to share?
It is so important for me to share because I have a love for people. So with that love for people and that connection, it is especially with the saving money, especially right now during coronavirus, during COVID-19. There are a lot of people who, they did not get a chance to stock up before we had to all self quarantine. So a lot of the different things that I enjoy purchasing or buying, or that's really cheap for me to obtain, then I feel like others should know it too. Because I have a lot of followers, a lot of tribe members who are actually in Atlanta, surrounding areas, and just not so Atlanta. I have a lot of followers and tribe members that are in California, Chicago, New York, Baltimore. It's just everywhere. So I just feel that it's important, for like some of the major stores that I shop at, Target, Kroger, if it's Publix, if it's Walmart, or anything like that, then why not share it? Because that actually may help someone else who may need to save. So if it's saving on tissue paper or paper towels, or if it's Tide detergent, or any type of household product, food, especially one other thing too with the kids, all of the children being at home, they're not in school. I don't know about anybody else, but my kids are grown, but I feel like they're eating me out of house and home. But having that pantry stock up, having those, the food available and readily available for them is always that's satisfaction for me. So I feel like other people who have family and kids that are at home as well, they need to find those saving tips. So why not share it?
Now, you were mentioning different items, so I got to ask, in the middle of March when everybody was going crazy and looking for toilet paper, what
Hmm.
was your toilet paper stash like?
Oh, it was to the roof. It was actually to the roof, and my husband was like, "Okay, we don't even have to buy tissue paper." A lot of people that were like heading to the stores. I think it was like right after Governor Kemp mentioned, "Okay, you guys need to stock up for at least 2 weeks." Is when we all first started with the stock up for COVID, and then I was like, "Okay, well, I'm already stocked up on tissue paper. I just only needed to get, maybe just like another carton of milk or something, some butter or something like that." But for the most part, excuse me, we had everything was already stocked, and I felt really great about that. A lot of my tribe members who follow me, because they are follow me so often, they were stocked up as well. So we all, I don't want to just say like we kind of chuckled at the fact of we didn't have to go out and rush out to buy tissue paper, paper towels, hand sanitizers, Lysol, wipes and stuff like that. But because we actually had a lot of those things already in our home, so that was just awesome.
What would you say you've learned the most during this savings journey?
During this savings journey, what I have learned the most is it's really good to have a nest egg. It's always good to have an emergency savings fund. Every week, I talk about my money saving challenges. Some of you have heard about them, the 52-week money saving challenge. I actually have two that are happening right for 2020 for this year, a 5,000K, a 5K money saving challenge, as well as the 1,300. So each week, I deposit a select amount of money into those saving challenges, and it builds up. At the end of the year, I can decide what I want to do with that money. So for my tribe members who've never actually saved before,
Hmm.
this is a great strategy for them to be able to, they have a tribe, they have other tribe members who are actually saving as well along with myself, and I'm actually showing that every single week. So it's really great to be able to share in that experience for those who need to save. But my one of the things that I definitely have learned is it does not hurt to save money. So having that money at the end of the year is like the perfect nest egg.
Now, it's interesting. I was going to ask you about how you balance life as a saving strategist as
Mhm.
well as a registered nurse. And as I've listened to you answer my question, I was like, oh, she doing that reflective listening that they tell you should do, and you reflect back to the person so you make sure you give them accurate. And I was like, okay, then I'm peeping you. I'm peeping those medical skills right there. But how do you balance life as a registered nurse as well as a saving strategist?
Well, balancing life as a registered nurse and as a savings strategist, it's kind of like 50-50 for me. So days when I am working, I'm actually, as a registered nurse, I'm actually, focused on what I'm doing. But outside of that, when I, on my free time, I will, if I'm going to stores or I have an alert that is sent to me, then, I'll go and check it out, see if it's something worth me sharing with my tribe members, and it kind of balances itself out. And also, being a full-time blogger, an influencer, so I do share, excuse me, some different things as well on my blog as well.
All right, we have a question from one of our very loyal viewers here at the Angela Ray Show.
Okay.
And I may not want to know the answer to this because I may not want to give it up.
What product or service would you eliminate for the average household to save money? Well, it all depends. Some individuals, let's just say, for instance, wipes. Like if you have a baby and you're so busy trying to purchase baby wipes, you may want to just, Google or go on YouTube and just look at a cheap and inexpensive way on how to make your own homemade baby wipes. So that way it can kind of cut down on the cost. For some, and I'll use another example, who for individuals who have babies, if you're wanting to use more like the cloth diapers versus
Mhm.
buying expensive, diapers. Not to name any specific brand, but we know that that Pampers can cost a lot of money, and babies go through those so quickly. So you may want want to kind of like change over and use cloth diapers. So that may save you several $100s actually a month.
So when did you know that you indeed had a following and had reached influencer status?
Well, actually, when I started using coupons more and I was in the store and I used to have people that would come up to me and they would say, "Hey, you use coupons? Show me what I want to follow you to the register."
Oh,
So
okay.
it happened, and I think it was maybe like about 4 or 5 people the first time, and they came up with me to the register and they said, "I just really want to see what you're saving," because during that time, a lot of the extreme couponer shows were on television. So
Mm-hmm.
people were really interested in how to use the coupons and how to save. So it just took off from there. So I said, well, hey, it seems like there is a need for individuals to learn how to use coupons and how to use them effectively. So I just developed that love and passion for it. I've even written several online coupon classes and given a lot of information with our Atlanta Journal Constitution right here in Atlanta. So that's how that fun came about.
Speaking of coupons, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone who's interested in beginning to coupon?
I would say, just choose one of your favorite stores that you like to shop at, and then just get one coupon or either get that store's digital app. If the app has coupons inside of it, use that. Just try to go to the store and just use one coupon on one product. See how that whole transaction turns out for you. If you like it, then you may want to continue. The next time, go get two products and use two coupons. And as you continue to do that, and as you have a love for saving money at the register, then you will be using more coupons and finding other great ways to save as well.
All right, Edwin has another question for you.
Okay. If you can
Oh, well,
get,
that's actually somebody else. Who is that? Ja Wuru. I'm sorry.
that's Charles. Hey, Charles.
Oh, you know him.
Yeah, it's one
Okay.
of my tribe members. Okay. Edwin says, I love the dollar stores and other discount stores. Some people think if you get inferior products in these stores. How do you feel about them? I love the dollar stores. I love Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree actually accepts manufacturer coupons. Dollar General, Family Dollar. I love all of those stores. All of them have coupons that you can use, whether it's in the digital app. You can use manufacturer coupons as well in those stores. I know some people are very adamant, oh, they don't want to go to the dollar store, but hey, there are a lot of products, and I share a lot of those products as well on my Instagram that you can get from those stores. The same products that you would get whether you go to Target or you go to Walmart or you go to Kroger or Publix or any other stores besides the dollar stores. So
Now, I know you've been very busy as people in the medical professional are definitely essential,
mhm,
always, but even more so during this time. I haven't seen you on Periscope in the mornings in a while. Do you
mhm.
think you might return to doing your morning Periscopes, or are you more focused on Instagram these days in terms of interacting with your tribe?
Well, actually, I will be returning to Periscope. It probably will be in about 2 months. I wanted to try to give some more time for things to kind of slow down a little bit, especially with COVID,
Hmm.
because my job is so demanding. And outside of all of this, I am an instructor. So I do teach healthcare students. So in between that time is usually, the times when I usually get onto Periscope, but Periscope is definitely coming back. It's not gone anywhere.
Okay.
As well as, I'll still be on Instagram Live and may even throw in some Facebook Live there as well.
So, for those of you who may not know what Periscope is, because it was the first live streaming platform, it is pretty much it's similar to Facebook Live and as well as Instagram Live, but it is owned by Twitter. And
Hmm.
specifically, what what our Simple Savings for ATL Mom Diva does on Periscope, she will tell us which stores to go to. If there's a coupon, you can use the resource for that coupon, where you can grab it from. And then when those particular savings or those sales will be off. So she might pick maybe 3 or 4 different things to kind of give us the hookup on and have us look out for. So yeah, that it's. I mean, honestly, it's kind of for me. I don't coupon a whole lot, but my lazy way to save is to just go to your page, get on your page, find out where I'm supposed to go. Just
Mhm.
like a week ago, I had not received anything in my Kroger app in forever. And you
Mhm.
mentioned something that was in there. I was like, well, let me go see if I have it this time. And sure enough, I did. So I went and slid that coupon right on in my app. So the next time I go to the store, I could get my freebie. Now,
Right.
all of these things you're teaching, you are working in healthcare, you are a savings strategist,
Mhm.
you're a wife, you're a mom. What's a typical day like for you?
Well, a typical day, especially when I do not have to go into work, I'll get up in the morning. For those of you who do follow me on Instagram, you will see in my Instagram stories, I'll show you where I'm actually meditating. I have my meditation time. Usually, the first thing when I get up in the morning, I pray. Prayer is, you have to have a spiritual connection. So that prayer of the day of just being grateful for seeing the next day. Then I go into my meditation mode. I may meditate for about an hour or so, and then I just determine what it is that I want to do for that day because I'm off. It's my own free time. So I'm checking my emails. From that, I may venture out into some of the stores and then share some things on Instagram, or it may be a giveaway that I decide to do on that specific day. And then from there, it's a family time. So I do try to hone in a lot, especially with family, because that's very important, especially with everything that's happening right now in the world.
Now, no one reaches the levels of success, especially the levels of success that you have,
Mhm.
without facing some challenges. How have you
Mhm.
overcome the challenges that have kind of come as forks in the road along your journey?
Well, the way that I really overcome challenges is I just try to stay positive. I surround myself. I have a positive tribe, so I have people who are around me that are very positive, and we just take it one day at a time. So if there's something that I feel like I may just feel like a little uneasy about, I lean towards my tribe. My tribe always brings my spirit back to 110%. I mean, if I'm not bringing theirs to 110%. So I try to stick and stay around positive people, and I've always been an advocate for that because it's so much that's going on. You can definitely get sidetracked with your goals and what
Mhm.
it is that you're trying to accomplish. So the best way that I know how is just to stay, with my positive tribe.
And what's your favorite aspect of what you do, particularly on the saving strategist side?
It is actually, I'm going to use an example of that. And it's like towards the end of the year, once my money saving challenges are done and we have deposited our last amount, is seeing the actual number of people who actually saved throughout the whole entire year and learning what they're going to do with their money. For some who are actually saying, I never had an emergency savings fund before, and now this is the first time that I'm ever going to have an emergency savings, and I feel so good about it. I was able to save the whole year. When is the next challenge starting? So, that makes me feel really good because I know that they were able to, accomplish a goal that they may have set for themselves and didn't think that they were going to accomplish it. And it all relates back to finances. So that's one of the things.
Now, when I was introducing you, I mentioned that, even during these COVID hard times that so many people are facing, you've still been able to help people save hundreds and thousands of dollars each month. Now, without giving away all of your secrets, kind of walk us through what that might look like, especially if someone wanted to work one on one with you because you do some consultations.
hmm So for let's just say someone who does want to work with me, they have never saved before, and I'll even take this back to the fact that when I was in college, there was not a course. Even when I was in high school, there was not a course that specifically talked to you about money, money
Right.
challenges you're going to have as an adult, things that you need to do with your money. So those were challenges. So, a typical consultation with me would start out with exactly what do you want to accomplish? How do you feel about money? So we would have to kind of like talk a little bit about different things that has happened to you in your past related to money. Has money always been taken away from you? Have you ever had that opportunity to save money? And what does saving money look like to you? How do you feel about saving money? Because most of the times, like, some people are just not into paying themselves first. You work and work and work, and then when you get your check, you go straight and you pay bills instead of paying yourself. You need to pay yourself first, because you are the one that's getting up every single day, or however many days you go to work and you're earning this income. So when you have gain this income, what are you doing with it? How are you actually saving? And then we would, definitely talk about different strategies on things that person wants to save on. So if they are expecting a newborn baby, don't just wait until the baby is here to start, stocking up on diapers. You want to start stocking up before then. Okay, your wish list may just be for your family members to, hey, I need you guys to do a drive-by baby shower and drive by and drop me off some diapers.
I know that's right.
Drop me off some diapers, some wipes, some it doesn't matter, baby stroller, whatever they feel that they can donate for you. That's going to help keep money in your pocket that you're not going to have to spend when the baby has arrived. So just different things like that. And you want to take a trip, and of course we know we all can't take trips right now. So just save the money. Save the money. Okay. Once we're over COVID, then this is what I'm
Hmm.
going to do with that money. But just keep that money safe and put it in, some type of an account that's going to earn interest. So while it's sitting there and you're consistently saving, you're earning some extra income as well. So just different things like that. But it all, like I said, it all just depends on where that person is, how they feel about saving money, because everybody doesn't feel the same way about saving money. Some people have had some really bad hardships when it comes to saving money. They try to save and then there's an emergency. It always
Hmm.
happens. So I'm just trying to overcome some of those different things.
All right, Edwin has another question.
Okay, Edwin, if you could talk to your 18-year-old self, what three pieces of advice would you tell yourself? Get an emergency savings account. That is
Okay.
the first thing. The first thing is learn about money, learn about credit, learn what not to do with credit, and then make sure you have an emergency savings account, because those are the three things actually that I didn't know a whole lot about. But as I got older, as you get older and different situations happen, you learn to know that credit is so important.
Hmm.
You have a really good high credit score, that's better than having a whole lot of money in the bank, actually. So just those three things right there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, just thinking about what this time of the pandemic, even some of the financial challenges, what do you think
Mhm.
the long term legacy will be for people coming on the other side of COVID in terms of, will we have more savers? Will we have more couponers in case we know
Mhm.
people need to have stashes? What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on that?
I think there will be some people who will say to themselves, we need to make sure we are prepared for any other emergencies. We need to make sure that we have, our pantry stocked. We need to our deep freezer stocked, our refrigerator stocked. We need to have emergency money over to the side, whether it's for 3 months or 6 months or a year. We need to have that money over, just planned on over to the side. Now, I know there will be some COVID-19 babies that will also be in the picture on the other side of this as well. But during this time, still save the money, and then making sure that they have planned for, having the baby. So I think that longevity, people will, after all of this is over, they will come out thinking, okay, what could I have done different to help me during this situation as compared to before the situation started. And I can just go back and just say, for those, when we first learned about it, you need to have 2 weeks supply of tissue paper, paper towels, soap, food. And a lot of people who did not have that, they did not have deep freezers. They didn't even have time to even go to the store. They didn't know what they were going to do. And then schools were closed and all the kids were home, and then they had to have even more food. So, they
Yeah.
will think about a lot of that the next time. Yeah.
All right. Your Instagram as well as your website is scrolling at the bottom of the screen where people can get in contact with you if they need to book a session and follow your blog. Any final thoughts before we wrap up tonight?
What I will say is, even though we're all going through COVID-19 right now, it is so important to make sure that you tell your loved ones how much you love them, how much you cherish them, and make sure that you stay connected with your family members. Not only that, be sure to connect with your community. Find out what's going on within your community as well. Your neighbor may be in need of something that you may have. If you are a couponer, make sure you reach out to those in your community to see exactly what is needed, because or you may be able to help someone elderly who's not able to get to the store. So that's one of the final things. And make sure you follow Simple Savings for atlmoms.net.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us on the Angela Ray Show tonight. Can't wait for those periscopes to start back up.
Mhm.
And again, you do want to make sure that you are following her on Instagram because I think she might have a giveaway coming up. I mean, I ain't one to gossip, so you ain't heard that from me. But yeah, you might have a giveaway coming up real soon.
Thank you,
Have a
Angela.
have a good night.
You too.
All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that is it for Influencer Week here at the Angela Ray Show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, in closing, I would like to remind you of Ray of Motivation number 54. Cleaning a mirror does not change the person who is reflected in it. Until next time, I encourage you to go out and be the change. Have a great weekend.